I don't like them. They're bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
We're live and we're talking about. We just started talking about Fast and Furious movies. I don't like Fast and Furious.
How did we get on? Oh, we got on the subject because I said, for everyone that's been watching, over the course of the last 4 weeks, we've had mice in our house. Well, we've had mice in our house for a while now, and now we've caught 2 mice. We're not 100% sure if it's the same mouse. I think this one was a little smaller, this mouse, but we caught it. It fell into the house that my roommate dog, like the trash can with the dog food in it. So he had to throw all the dog food out and get more dog food. This mouse is costing us money, all right? And we've been trying to capture this mouse, and today he fell right into our grasp. We got him. So we drove 6 miles away because last time we caught a mouse, we only walked about 5 blocks away, dropped off this mouse in the park. And I wasn't 100% sure, but later that night, after a couple beers, I decided to research how far a mouse will go to get back to its house, 6 miles. So we drove to Stapleton today and dropped that mouse off.
You know, it's really easy to underestimate the
Nature?
Dedication of an animal because if you think about, like, if you think about it from a human perspective, you're like, oh, they just get distracted. Right. Because we're distracted by millions of other things that we worry about because we think about other things. But animals literally only care about like food and reproducing. So they have they have one thing on their mind and like they're gonna find a way.
Right.
And so it's like, you know, it's not surprising to me that they would go 6 miles
to get back to their house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this one is in Stapleton now. We dropped it in like this tall grass. We're trying to figure out like a humane way to kill a mouse. And I was like, well, it's alive, so it's hard to.
Well,
whatever, Paul.
Mice have to do with camera talk.
What do mice have to do with camera talk? We were talking about it before, and the first ever episode.
Yeah.
Our boss got on here and said, "Did you catch? What's a good lens to catch a mouse with?"
Yeah. And so it does matter, Paul.
Yeah.
It relates. And then you said that you named the mice.
Yeah. We called the first mouse Vin Diesel, and then the second mouse was Dwayne the Mouse Johnson. And then I asked you, do you like Fast and Furious?
Well, no, I said I don't like Vin Diesel.
You don't like Vin Diesel?
Yeah, I'm not a Vin Diesel fan. And you said, do you like Fast and Furious? And I was like, no. And that's part of why.
Here's the thing, Paul. Camera shop talk isn't just always about cameras. It's about just miscellaneous things. He's probably not on anymore because he got roasted. He wanted to leave. But we are going to talk about cameras today. Today, Canon announced a couple more specs for their EOS R5. Speaking of Vin Diesel, is he just driving past your house right now, or what?
Why did you hear that? Right?
Yeah, it sounded like a Honda Civic with like 5 mufflers.
Let's not anger the Civic community. I'm sure there's some that watch.
It sounded like a Acura sedan.
You know, with cars, sometimes we have to take a step back and realize that there are all different flavors.
That's true.
This is all different flavors of cars. Personally, yes.
Yeah. Well, Honda Civic is the yellow Skittle in the bag. All right.
Yeah. All right. You're right. I agree with you, but there must be a reason why, if you have a Civic, that you want to do that.
Well,
and
the new Civics are pretty sweet. The new Civics are cool looking. The old Civic. Let's get down to camera business. We've been gaining a lot of viewers and then losing them instantly because
we're talking about the Canon R5, which
Paul is laughing out loud.
I saw a bunch of videos come out.
Did you watch a bunch of videos? Or
I only watched. I don't know why I keep watching. Did you watch Pullen.
You're just hooked.
I'm not like, it's just,
should I message him and be like, hey man,
I just like, I don't hate him because he's entertaining, but like I always disagree with him. So every time I watch his videos, I'm like, no, dude, what? No, what's wrong? So I don't always disagree, but it's easy to disagree with him. I just feel like he's got strong opinions, and so do I. So
there we go. You guys should do you guys should do a little cross.
He actually did something that I respected. He put up a video of him getting completely roasted by Mike Kelly. Who is he's a really good. You've probably seen him on F-Stoppers if you watch F-Stoppers, but he's a really good real estate photographer, and he's like really extreme and picky. You know, like he will pick anything out, and he goes really into detail about like set placement. So like he'll take an entire room and completely rearranged the room. Like he's more of a interior designer than he is a photographer sometimes, but
Interesting.
and that helps a lot because it makes there's less distractions in the room, so you pay more attention to the room. But yeah, he totally just roasted Jared Pollin's real estate photography. So
interesting. Yeah, it's like nice funny because Jared Pollin goes and tries to take pictures of just about everything.
Yeah,
and then he says like, "I'm the expert on this."
Exactly. Yeah, he does. He claims he's the expert, and when he does critiques of other people, he just completely just trashes them. And I'm like, bro, you're not really that much better. So it's,
anyways,
you know.
Thanks for watching, Jared. But but the EOS R5, there were more specs released. I'm waiting for them. They never really have said what megapixel this sensor is. Not that that's important.
Well, we can determine to an extent what it is if it shoots 8K. If it does what they say with 8K, I think it's like by default has to be like 32 or higher, I think.
Sure. Okay. So we're going to say like 45 megapixels?
45 seems too close to what
Sony put out.
Sony and Canon. I feel like, or Sony and Nikon. I almost want to see less than 45.
Right. It'd be nice. But maybe like 35, 36.
You know, if it's anything like their current cameras where they have multiple sizes for their RAW files, maybe it doesn't matter. Right. It goes high as they want. So there's all kinds of like seemingly mind-blowing specs, but I still feel like it's, until we actually see it, a lot of it still seems too good to be true to me. Right. Because it seems like a massive leap from what they've been offering, unless they are completely committing to just cannibalizing their cinema line, which is what I think is happening. I feel like they're going, you know, we've got this divide in our sales of cameras. We have, you know, stills cameras that are totally like, they're technically capable of doing these things, but we throttle it to keep the cinema line, you know, intact. But I could see them maybe reaching a breaking point where they're like, you know what, let's just blend it all together because we got to beat smartphones. So, you know.
Right. Well, didn't they just came out? They just came out with the. Didn't they just came out? Didn't they just come out? They just came out with the C300 Mark III.
Yeah, which I think is going to be an R mount, though.
Oh, is it?
Well, I don't know about that one. I didn't read about anything about that, but I heard that they are going to be making cinema cameras with the R mount.
Interesting.
And to me, that seems like, you know, the line is blurring even more between the two systems because you've got, you know, there's not going to be a massive difference other than like utilities, like audio ports and power connections and you know, really all the things you need for like a cinema camera, which is a lot of just basically just like utilities. It's not really like the quality of the camera. Like it needs a massive battery. It needs all these cable ports for, you know, broadcasting and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I don't know. Paul wants it to be 45 megapixels, which Paul's the perfect person to want that. Paul, we've had him on here before, and he does product photography, and so he likes having lots of resolution to work with.
That big file, so he can, you know.
That would be a downgrade for you, Paul.
Yeah,
you have 50 megapixels with the 5D
SR, but it's an old, what is it, 4-year-old 50 megapixels.
You know, if anything, that should be a sign that it would be more.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they were the first one to put out 50 megapixels sensor. Yeah. But so some things that were announced today, everyone's like, get to the point. You know, I'm not a huge video guy. Mitch, you're more of a video guy than I like
video. Video's fun. I just don't think it should make or break a stills camera for you.
Right. And that's why I kind of always just look at
I think
from really, a stills kind of point of view.
If you're buying interchangeable lens stills camera, whether it's mirrorless or a DSLR, I think for like 90% of people, they're going to be happy with the video quality because it's already that much better just because of the hardware that you have. You have a big fat sensor and you've got nice lenses, and couple that with video and whatever video capabilities it has, it's going to look really good. You know, your major downfalls or differences between brands is just going to come from like video autofocus, I think. Otherwise you'd be able to make really good content with any current interchangeable lens system right now with video. So I think a lot of the like concern and like hate for certain cameras based on their video capabilities online is like really overblown. But
sure,
because I've always felt like if you're that serious about video, you need to just buy a cinema camera, because you're going to end up spending that much money on those additional accessories that you're going to need for video. You know, most people get an external monitor, they get external audio recording equipment, and then they get these rigs and follow focus rigs and all that stuff. And it's like, it ends up just being the size and cost and weight of a full size cinema camera. And it's like, why didn't you just start there?
Right.
You know, so for some people, I suppose the smaller size really matters. You know, for some productions, it can help, but
for the most part,
you know, but the Canon, it does have some like really, you know, class leading specs for sure, by like double. You know, they say it's going to have 8K, full frame 8K with no crop, at least 30 frames per second, which up until this point isn't very common. That'd probably be one of the only like prosumer cameras that can do that.
Right.
It's got the only question still is how long it will record that for, because it can do it now, they say, but it still seems too good to be true. You know, this is like telling people that you have a car that goes 0 to 60 in less than a second. Right now, and there's there's no catch. You know,
everyone's waiting for the but.
Yeah, you know, there's got to be a but.
There's got to be but, and then hopefully but isn't the like, and it's $6,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I can see it being $5,000.
$5,000. I mean, what a 5D Mark IV when it first came out was what, $4,500. So I mean, it's got to be at least $4,500.
Yeah, that's the tough part with this. You've got a camera that's just edging out the technology that Sony's had for like 3 years now. And they're going to ask a lot of money for that capability. And I think I don't think they're too out of line, because they have really good build quality. They have really good lenses. Like the quality of what you're going to get for the money that you're going to spend on this system, it's going to deliver. You know, you're going to get a good system that's going to work, and it's probably not going to let you down. But you've got a competing system with Sony that's been around a lot longer, that will do probably 90% of what the Canon is going to do. And then with much more lenses available and for a lot less. Like we've been talking with Tamron, and they have a ton of lenses that are really affordable that rival what Canon's doing. You know, and Canon's got the new 70-200 that has a collapsible zoom to make it smaller, and it's a 2.8 and everything. But now there's the Tamron option for Sony, which is roughly the same thing. It's a collapsible zoom, and it sacrifices 20 millimeters, but it's like almost $3,000 less.
Yeah.
You know, or almost $2,000 less, not three. And so you know, how much is this Canon system going to be worth to a lot of people? Because that was a big issue when Sony came out with their stuff, is it was very expensive to get into Sony. Right. And now that
if you wanted to change to Sony, like you were outing like at least $1,200 to $1,600, you know, for the difference. But this thing, this EOS R5 today, they announced it does 4K up to 120 frames per second,
which is awesome.
Yeah, sweet. That's and really I think it's in body.
They also said, they confirmed that it's going to work with the dual pixel autofocus as well, which up until now has been an issue with Canon cameras when you shoot high resolution or really fast frame rate video. I think apart from the 1DX, it couldn't autofocus when you did those things. And you know, now that's a major leap forward.
5-axis in-body stabilization. I think everyone knew that was coming, but
we knew that was coming, except I think it was unclear if it was mechanical or electronic.
Oh, okay.
Does it say if it's mechanical? If it's like actual?
You know, I'm not 100% sure. Let's take a look here. Doing my little research. More items. Petapixel had a really great article on it. It says 5-axis in-body image stabilization works in conjunction with the optical image stabilization in both RF and EF lenses.
Okay, so it sounds like it'd be a full mechanical, like gimbal system, which is good. I hope they have a more confident feeling, like action when it locks into place. I hate the feel when I turn my Sony off and I feel that sensor just go. It's like, you're like, it's like, you know, every time I feel like is it going to come back?
Yeah, exactly.
I want it to not shake like that when I turn it off. I just want it to like lock into shape. I also hope it I know that can add some time to the power on time, you know, to get ready to shoot, because you have this, if it works like the Sony's or any of the other in-body stabilization systems at the moment, they're always in a resting state. So there's, you know, the motors are just kind of floating around. So when you turn the camera on, it has to sort of like quickly calibrate itself and lift itself into position. But that adds like a millisecond of time to turning the camera on, and with a pro camera that matters. So I hope that it's really fast. To power on, just like Canons are now. They're already really fast.
That's like my beef with the Sony is like, I better not need to get a shot, because it's like or like formatting a card.
That too. They've improved a ton. Sony's used to be so slow.
A9s are so fast now, but man, my A7R4 still is kind of creeping.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like powering up a supercomputer, because they're so. Which there was a Sony announcement too.
Was there?
There's a patent that was released with the Light Company. I think they're the same people that make those, like the Lightro camera, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Right? But there's like
an interesting camera.
It's a lens that it's going to act like smartphone lenses now, where they have multiple lenses. It's like a lens that
let you miss your shot and then refocus it.
That's what the patent said. It says it works with multiple different depths of field to allow you to choose the exact depth of field. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me on a current system, because I don't know how that software would tie in to what's currently available. Like you'd have to write in a totally new menu system. So I feel like it'd have to be a completely new camera that has support for that kind of thing. But when I first saw it, it just showed multiple lenses. So I don't know if that patent was an exact representation of what they were trying to do. I just think they were taking, my initial reaction was they're like, okay, the Light Company is the one that made the Lightro camera, and that's the one that allows you to change your depth of field after the photo's been taken. Right. But what I saw was multiple lenses, which relates to those cameras because they have like 30 different lenses or something on them to be able to do that. But I think it's more like you're going to have a lens that has multiple different lenses on it that uses different parts of the sensor to take different photos. Yeah. You know, now I think that's what it is now. So
sure. Yeah. I feel like I don't trust anything that's gonna do that, but
it looked kind of like it was going to be just a major sacrifice. Like I don't think what it looked like, because it's literally like a pancake lens with like a bunch of smartphone size lenses on it.
Right.
It goes onto your full frame camera and then divides up the different sections of the sensor where those little lenses are going to project to. And I couldn't think in my head of like a way that would benefit you. I'm like, well, it sounds like you just have like 20 smartphones built into your camera now.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I don't know. Glenn, this is a long comment, but Glenn, he shoots for Tamron, and he's been shooting Sony for a few months, and he just isn't super pumped about the unresponsiveness of the Sony that he's shooting on compared to the Canon. So fingers crossed that the 5R works like the 5D, but with mirrorless advantages.
One trick you can try with the responsiveness on the Sonys, which I agree is slower, the release priority, which you have this set to release priority, but if you set the release in the autofocus release priority to release and not autofocus or balanced, it's a little bit better on the shutter response time, which until I did that, I was always disappointed with the shutter response, but now it feels just like a Canon or a Nikon with that. So
nice. What else is new on this EOS R5? Dual card slots. All right. So this is important. This is important to a lot of people, especially a lot of Canon shooters. There's a lot of wedding shooters and journalists, anyone really that wants to have, you know, the backup, you know, you want to have you know, a good feeling that they've got a fail safe. And so this is going to have dual card slots, CF Express, and one SD UHS 2 slot. So it's going to be screaming fast.
Yeah, that's good. That's only a good thing.
You're not excited. Why? What did you wish it was?
I'm not excited. I'm just like, oh, it's about time.
About time. Yeah, I guess you're not You're like, yeah, it should. That's what the EOS R should have had in it.
Yeah, I'm still a little disappointed in that. And actually, I'm more disappointed in Nikon with their decision to do that as opposed to Canon. Canon, it was kind of always known that camera was like they were dipping their toes in the water with mirrorless.
Right.
And they did a pretty good job. I think the EOS R is a really good camera. But now with all the improvements they've made and the price that it is now, when it first came out, it was way too expensive for what it was.
Yeah.
But the Z cameras from Nikon, I feel like really could have helped Nikon a lot if it just had dual card slots and a regular battery grip, because it had all the other things that I think it had a better control layout than the Canon because it had a regular joystick.
Right. I hate that slide. Hopefully they get rid of the slide, the little slide thing that I never really figured out. And
the Nikon had fantastic weather sealing. It was built like a pro camera, but like it was like an Apple product. It like they got rid of all this stuff, but they built it really well. And I was like, why did you do that? You know, you really needed this momentum. You needed to jump off of the D850 to a really high performance mirrorless camera to show people like, hey, Nikon, they're still with it. And I think they still can. I don't want Nikon to fail, but it's like I want them to be better.
Right.
You know, either be better or jump ship. That's where I'm at with Nikon. And I really wished that the Z camera was going to have dual card slots. And now I think they're even more behind because the hype is all on the R5, which has dual card slots. And like it you know, if Nikon doesn't come out with something to punch back at that, it's going to be tough for them, I think. So
for sure. If you're just joining, I'm gonna in the comments, I'm gonna kind of copy and paste the stuff we're talking about when it comes to the new specs on the EOS R5.
But yeah, the R5 is really, it's exciting. It makes me really want one.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I mean, I don't know if I would. Yeah, I've got so much Canon glass and so little Sony glass that if it was anywhere above 45 megapixels, I might jump ship to and just be straight.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's a lot of compromises with Sony. I think they're worth it. I think the system is worth using. But you know, even with those compromises, even for the cost and everything, but the R5 just sounds like it has no downsides at the moment, which is why we're all waiting for the but.
Yeah,
because there's never been a perfect camera.
Should just call up our Canon rep, be like, "Where's the but?" Yeah,
we need because you know we've always been searching for the perfect camera. We always find something to complain about, and the Canon, this R5 is sounding like
there's not much to complain.
There's not a lot to complain about. But.
So. If you're interested in the R5, we might not be open for business right now, but message us on Facebook or email staff@inglewoodcamera.com, and we can get you on I imagine we won't have any problems getting you on a special order list. That way, when we do start ordering them in, you'll be the first to get it. You won't have to wait for everyone else. We'll even take whenever there's a price, and they actually announce the date, maybe we'll take deposits to, you know, buffer some of us of not being open right now. But
it'll be fun to talk to people about that too I'm really excited to see how people like it. If we're open by the time this camera's coming out.
Yeah.
I want to see people's reaction to it because I think there's a lot of Canon shooters that are definitely holding out. They've been holding out for this camera.
Right.
And it's really going to open them up to a whole new world of shooting.
Whole new world.
Well, it's for real. I talked to
new fantastic POV. Sorry.
It's really common though. I mean, I'm sure you talk to plenty of people at the store that come in and they have a 5D of some sort and they're an event or a wedding shooter or portrait shooter and they just really like their Canon and they're holding on to their Canon and they know there's a lot of benefits to mirrorless and there's less and less downsides to mirrorless every year. But there's always some weird thing that's holding them back. And I feel like this is the camera that would knock a lot of people off of their seat.
Yeah. They'd be like, okay, I'm ready to go. Cause there's a lot of people that don't want to give up their 5D Mark IV or their EF lenses. But but yeah, it would take like a 135 1.8, and this being about 45 megapixels or more.
And hopefully less than $6,000.
And hopefully less than $6,000. Yeah. I would sell my original one if it shot 20 frames a second.
It sounds like it's going to.
Like it was going to, and is like 45 megapixels and shoots. It gives me a chance to dumb down the raw. I would sell my original 1DX for this. I would give it to. I'd sell it for a good price. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me trying to get rid of it right now. I love my original 1DX, but it's noisy. It's like. So
yeah, I'm excited to see how it handles those higher frame rates.
Yeah. So it's an interesting camera, the EOS R5. Hopefully there's more big Canon or camera news over these next couple of days. I feel like it's got me going. Are you a Bulls fan, Mitch? Do you like basketball at all?
I'm a Michael Jordan fan, but
you're a Michael Jordan fan?
I'm a Michael Jordan fan because I really
you were like 4 when the Bulls won their last title.
That's why I said I liked Space Jam. And that's why I like Michael Jordan, because he was funny in Space Jam when I was a kid. I don't pay that much attention to basketball. Although I went to my first basketball game ever with my friend Neil, who lived here before I did, and he's a big Nuggets fan.
Okay.
And I went to my first Nuggets game with him and a couple other friends, and I had a blast. I had a ton of fun. Like it was so
pretty fun to watch.
Yeah,
live.
It's fun when you're there,
right?
Yeah,
on TV, you're just like, TV. Why is it taking forever to get to the last minutes of a quarter?
I have an issue with indoor sports. I didn't realize until maybe a year ago that a lot of the reason why I like the sports that I like is because there's such a difference in the environments that they go to. Like I love talking about different baseball fields,
right?
And like what advantages are at different baseball fields. Like it's such an additional factor,
right?
To the game that's fun to talk about. And like I'm a big NASCAR fan, and every NASCAR track is different. So you're always talking about who's better at what track and what cars are going to dominate and whatnot. And tennis,
golf.
Tennis, I don't know that tennis really counts.
Tennis has got clay courts and hard courts and grass courts and that blue court.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of tennis. I don't actually know much about the different courts.
Neither do I.
All I do is I just play it, but I don't know.
And I don't do it well. When you practice your swing in the store, and it looks like you're taking batting practice. And I'm like,
that's not a tennis swing.
That's your base. That's
the baseball swing.
You are practicing baseball.
Yeah, because I wanted to play softball, and now we're probably not going to play softball this year, which is a big bummer.
I was
jealous. I saw on your story you guys were playing wiffle ball, and I was like,
dude, we started a wiffle ball league in my backyard. So for anyone who follows me on Instagram, I live with 4 other people, so I'm not breaking the rules. I'm not just hanging out with my friends. I have 4 roommates, and so we're in the backyard playing wiffle ball, and I've taped a strike zone on the. My arm is killing me, by the way. I taped a strike zone on the fence, and I've been throwing sliders. I threw sliders for like 2 hours straight yesterday, which is probably
your arm out with a plastic
with a wiffle ball. Yeah, so I can't even like lift my arm past here. But
are you trying to impress your girlfriend? Or
everyone else, she was actually super impressed. All right,
yeah.
But everyone else is going to the hospital for coronavirus. I'm going there to get Tommy John surgery next week. It's gonna be painful.
You can just lie and say you were playing actual baseball.
I was playing actual. They're gonna be like,
go to the doctor and say I threw my arm out playing wiffle ball.
Wiffle ball. He's gonna laugh at me and tell me to go.
You're not getting any attention.
Why don't you go home and take some ibuprofen?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time. My team is 1-0. We set up some boundaries to try to stop losing the balls in our neighbors' backyards. If you hit it into 2 of their yards, those are outs. But if you hit it into the one neighbor that we know and like, that's a home run. So, and then if you hit it on the roof, it's a triple. So I had 2 triples, a couple doubles, and a single yesterday. There goes the light. And so yeah, we've been playing wiffle ball in the backyard.
Paul, I don't know, man. I don't know if tennis is better than baseball.
If I could kick someone watching out of the watching chat room, I would kick Paul out on it. Yeah. Paul just said tennis is greater than baseball. But so I asked you if you were a Bulls fan because yesterday they had The Last Dance on, right? The first 2 episodes of The Last Dance. It's a documentary on Michael Jordan and the Bulls, the last season. They were all together. And it was the fastest hour of my stay-at-home order by far. It just like zoomed by. I was like, wait, if they had released all 10 episodes, I would have watched for 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
I'll have to watch that. I like Michael Jordan. I think he's an inspiring athlete.
It was pretty cool. I only watched the first one. I heard there was drama in the second one, so we might watch that tonight. But it's on ESPN, so if you go back and watch ESPN, or you might be able to watch it on Hulu now. I don't know.
Michael Jordan has a pretty good quote that always stuck with me that applies to photography.
Okay, what is it?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Here we go. That's why you should blow your shutter up. Speaking of shutters,
I think that applies more to landscape photography.
Okay, there we go.
You should at least go out and try.
Yeah, go out and try.
That's the best thing you can do if you're a landscape photographer. If you're trying to improve landscape photography, just go.
Just go.
Just go and see what happens.
We had Mitch, we asked. Oh, sorry, you're kind of cutting out. Hold on. Did I cut you off? Or maybe I was cutting you off. That's why. Finish it. Just go out and shoot.
Just go out and shoot.
Be the MJ of landscape photography. Yes. Okay, let's talk shutter counts real quick here. I asked on Facebook April 16th, 4 days ago, for people to upload a screenshot of their shutter count on their camera when they uploaded it to a website. First thing is, the website I sent everyone to wouldn't do half the Canons that tried to do the shutter count. For some reason, finding your shutter count, it's so hard. I don't know. I don't get it. Just like, first of all, why don't camera companies just put it in the camera?
Why can't they all be like the X100V?
Yeah,
the X100V is such a good camera.
Yeah, the one. keep your good things to say about Fuji, because Fuji's coming on tomorrow.
I know, we gotta talk about that. I'm excited though.
But the 1DX will tell you how many shots approximately you've taken. But any other camera, really, you can do like this old school N64 like button smashing combo secret code to get into your Olympus.
Up, down, left, right.
Yeah, right. Down, left, right, up. Turn on, turn off, hit menu twice.
Does it spawn a helicopter like Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, while looking at the sky, hit right again. But we did a couple of shutter count questions, and there are a couple people made some posts. Are you ready? Have you looked at these?
Oh, I haven't looked at any.
Okay, I want you to guess what was the highest shutter count?
540,000.
Whoa, I mean you're pretty close. The highest shutter count, and so this is where I'm going to give my coworker at the Rockies a hard time, because I believe that this is the team's camera and not his camera, and he is disqualified.
It's a culmination of users.
Yeah. Well, no, he's put every one of these clicks on, I imagine.
Oh.
I only use that D5 every once in a while, but he shot 577,768 photos on this D5.
On just one shutter?
On just one. This might be a replaced shutter. I'm not 100% sure. But it doesn't reset the numbers when you get a new shutter. Right. So it's like your camera is shuttered.
Yeah, that could be two.
But it's
still really very, very high, because the rest of the camera takes a toll too. So
I can tell you right now, though, my other boss at the Avalanche also sent his in, and this I know for sure is an original shutter on a 1DX, 507,111 clicks.
Oh my God.
These things are rated to 250,000 or 300K, right? So there's 200,000 clicks over the limit.
Yeah, geez.
And then my friend Austin Drawhorn, he's a wedding photographer. I think he shoots Nikon. It was a Nikon D750, 216,936 shots. And those things are.
I wonder how much moisture plays into that, because if you keep your equipment in like a hard case, right, every time you go on and off the field, and all it does is come out for baseball games, I think that plays a part in it lasting so long,
right?
Because it's not constantly being subjected to all different kinds of environments.
That's true. I mean, Austin, he like travels, he does like elopements and stuff, so he's always hiking with his camera in Rocky Mountain National Park and all these crazy places. So I don't know, but yeah.
Also, Paul, now
Paul says, you know how we get to fire.
We have to kick Paul out now.
Yeah, we get to fire one customer a year, and Paul, you aren't a customer right now, but you're fired. So that was it basically. I mean, we need to do our critique here soon. We need to figure out a way for people to
I want to do the critique really bad. Can
So
we just
maybe
come up with a topic right now? We need to come up with a topic. Well, okay, no. The first one we were just going to do, just submit your best photo.
Right.
And we'll talk about it.
Uh-oh, waiting for Nikon to top is this fall. What? Say it one more time. Matt is the one I just disqualified from the shutter contest for using someone else's camera.
Are you talking about? What are you talking about? Say that again. Explain it better.
Oh, the shutter clicks. Matt is the one with 555,000 shutter clicks. If we gave that gift card out to whoever won the shutter click content, I was going to have to write that gift card to Dick Monfort of the Colorado Rockies. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm lost.
Oh, you're lost. This is
my mind just
your mind. Oh man, you just left. Mitch has left the chat. Everyone.
Yeah, my brain was like, you know what? I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna start thinking about something else.
But Matt needs to explain himself when he's what this means. Waiting for Nikon to top is this fall. That sounds like a
we need to have Matt back on the show. And
we should have Matt come back on the show. Matt, maybe we'll have Matt come on the show. Go ahead.
We need to talk more wildlife photography again.
You want to talk wildlife photography? It's almost time.
Yeah.
We'll have Matt come on later this week.
That's why I was late today, because I called my girlfriend to tell her how much I like magpies.
You mean you told her how much you love her? Say yeah.
No, actually, I called her to talk about the magpies.
How you hated magpies?
No, I love magpies. Okay, the reason I like magpies is because of her, but I saw like a whole flock of them, and I called her, and I'm like, I freaking love magpies.
Magpies are like the went into like pigeons of the
conversation about birds, and that's why I was like,
magpies will like kill other magpies.
I don't care. I like them.
It's crazy.
They're cute. They hop around.
Mm-hmm.
They're intelligent. They're a version of a crow.
Yeah.
So. Right.
To each their own. You know,
Matt likes magpies. I can tell.
No, he hates magpies. I can tell. A bird is a bird is a bird. Matt doesn't like shooting pictures of birds. He likes shooting pictures of omnivores. Omnivores? So what do we call an animal?
Matt likes big game.
Yeah, big game. He's a big game kind of guy. So we need to do, what should our
big game shooter?
A big game. So we need to like, maybe I'll make a post tomorrow asking people to put their photos in a feed, or in the feed, so we can like kind of review them. Your internet right now is just
that would be exciting.
That would be exciting. What's going on?
We need to talk about that with oh boy. I guess so, because I don't know. Maybe I could.
I don't know. Maybe it's time. They said
lower my quality really quick. Oh. My cameras or my computer's probably really hot because it's sitting in the sun.
In the sun, yeah. You're about to get a real good tan. I can tell. There we go. Uh-oh, your mom is chiming in now. She said we lost
switched it to low definition. So
there we go. She's lost Mitch's audio. This is terrible. It's unraveling by the second. What's going on? We gotta go. This has been Camera Shop Talk for.
Paul. Pigeons are better.
Pigeons are not better than baseball, Paul. Get lost.
We have to go.
Oh, it's 420 today too. We should have started this broadcast on 420.
Yeah. On that note, Paul, we have to go.
Yeah, we
gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's time.
Unacceptable.
So if look for that post. We're gonna ask people to enter their photo to be critiqued by yours truly, Mitch and I. So that's what we're gonna do. Look for that post, and then tune in tomorrow. It's going to be Fuji. Christopher Gilbert of Fuji is going to jump on.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, she can't hear you. You're cutting out. Just call your mom. It'll probably work better. All right, I'm going to end you. You're out of the chat. See you later. This has been Camera Shop Talk.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything.
I was just going to tell her I want her to submit a photo.
You didn't say anything that entire time. You were just pretending to say something. I'm ending this. We're gone.
What? I don't know what's going on.
Happy 420, everyone. Just 420.
No, I've been talking.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Why would I do that?
We're good.
Not that big of a troll.
You're like 30 seconds behind. I'm ending this. Tune in tomorrow. Fuji's on. We're going to talk X100V and XT4.